Hello friends, welcome back. Today we are going to change inline CSS conditionally based on component state. At this point you've seen several applications of conditional rendering and use of inline styles. Here's one more example that combines both of these topics. You can also render CSS conditionally based on the state of a React component. To do this, you check for a condition, and if that condition is met, you modify the styles object that's assigned to the JSX elements in the render method. This paradigm is important to understand because it is a dramatic shift from the more traditional approach of applying styles by modifying document object model elements directly, which is very common with jQuery, for example. In that approach, you must keep track of when elements change and also handle the actual manipulation directly. It can become difficult to track these changes, potentially making your user interface unpredictable. When you set a style object based on a condition, you describe how the UI should look as a function of the application state. There is a clear flow of information that only moves in one direction. This is the preferred method when writing applications in React. Okay, so the code editor has a simple controlled input component with a styled border. I'm going to stretch this out so we see it better. Controlled input. What does that mean? We've got a render function here in which we're rendering or we're returning after we have an inline style, and then we're returning a JSX element that has a type of text, a style of input style, so we're using this style, and then whatever. Okay. Handle change is being happened whenever this.state.input on change to this.handle change. So handle change, we're changing the input to the event.target.value. So this means we're changing, whenever the input is changing, our state is being changed here, and we've got it binded up together, and we've got a state in which the input is defined. This is all in a gatekeeper component. So the code editor has a simple controlled input component with a styled border. Got it. You want to style this border red if the user types more than 15 characters. Oh, okay. Solid black if the user types more than 15 characters. Add a condition to check for this, and if the condition is valid, set the input border style to red. You can try it out by entering text on the input. Okay, so what do we say here? We can be like, do we set this? The code editor here has a div. Gatekeeper component should be initialized with a state, key of input, and a string. Component should render an h3 tag. So let's say let danger input style. So we'll set this equal to, it said that the specific, it wanted us to have a border of 3 pixels solid red. Okay, sweet. So right now the style, it's input style, but we want to make this conditional, right? We want it to be input style if. So yeah, well, first off we can say the input. So this dot state dot input. If this dot state dot input dot length is greater than 15, more than 15 characters, then, no, we should say less than 16, then input style. Else, we want to do the danger input style. Okay, and now, so this will work if we're able to, when we get to 15, 6, greater than, if it's less than 15. If it's 16, we go danger style, 15. Yeah, and so right there on 16, you can see that it becomes a red border. So I think that this is working. And so yeah, basically we're just stretching this out, and we're setting the style with a ternary organization thing. So let's run the test and see what happens. Okay, cool. So yeah, once again, what we're doing is we're saying we're allowing for 2 input styles. And we get to declare this input style with whichever variable we want. We just need to make sure that it matches our ternary one. And then here down in style, what we do is we set a condition: is the state.input.length less than 16. So if the length is 12, it's going to render the input style, which is 1 pixel solid black. If it's greater than 16, if it's 20, say, it renders the danger input style to the component. Danger input style is the 3 pixels of solid red. And that's how this one works. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this one. We'll see you in the next lesson.